Hi guys, my name is Ben Marshall. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be talking about Danelectros and why I think they're so cool and why I think more people should give them a chance. More specifically, we're going to be talking about my Danelectro, which is this Pro 56, but I'm going to try and give you a tin-potted history of Danelectro in general. So from what I can find out, they actually started off in the late 40s, but I believe they sort of rose in popularity during the 60s where the Beatles, etc., everybody wanted a guitar and not everybody could afford an expensive guitar. So these were made out of the box to be an affordable guitar. I think they've changed names a few times. They might have been called Silvertone as well as Danelectro. I'm sure somebody knows more than me, so please feel free to let me know in the comments if you know different. But basically, what makes them quite unique is this body, which isn't solid wood. It isn't really a hollow body. It's a thing called masonite, and the construction is a bit like the outside of an acoustic guitar, from my understanding. So you've got that bracing, and then the back and the front is made of masonite, which is like a compressed sawdust. So pretty budget, as you can see, no expensive mahoganies and stuff going off here. And another really identifiable characteristic on a lot of them is these lipstick pickups. Now, from my understanding, the Danelectro factory was down the road from, I think it was the Maxon lipstick factory. So all of their discarded lipstick cartridges they took and they wound the magnets and they put their pickups inside. So you had these cool lipstick pickups. So they're kind of the main identifying factors, and I'll talk a little bit more about this guitar specifically. So we've also got this bridge, which is utilitarian, to put it one way. So it's sort of floating. You've got two screws going in at this point and one point here. So you screw it in, you can adjust the action pretty easily and back out. The back, again, very simple. We've got our sort of access panel to controls, one screw in there. We have got screws for just the pickups on the back, so you directly adjust the height there. And then we've got a really weird sort of cutout on the back of the neck on this guitar, which I'll get close-ups of for your bolt on. The neck is a sort of glossy finish, and we have a really generous chunk of what I think is rosewood, but I'm not sure. This is the Pro version, so we've also got this metal nut, which is a bit unusual, which is again held on by a screw. And the way I describe this is it's totally quirky, but it almost reminds me a bit of something like an AK-47. Everything's there for a reason. Everything is so easy to take apart and get at. It almost makes the fender look really complicated. So I think that's why they have this reputation of being a bit of a crap guitar. But I think that's absolutely nonsense because they're more than the sum of their parts. And I think they're so appealing because for that sort of budget guitar money, what are you getting most of the time? You're getting an Epiphone or a Squier, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that sort of guitar. They're absolutely brilliant, and they've only got better as the years have moved on. But what they aren't is unique. They are trying to be the sort of big brother overall, and they are always marked out as the affordable version, whether we like it or not. Again, there's absolutely no problem with that. But what I think's so cool about Danelectros is they are that price, and they are totally unique. They're not trying to be anything else. They have their own sort of place in rock and roll history, and I think they really deserve that. And I think they get a bit of a bad rep because they're just a bit weird and not everybody likes the feel of them, which is fine. Probably the most famous performance I've seen on Danelectro is Jimmy Page for Led Zeppelin playing White Summer in Dadgad tuning. And again, it's a super cool guitar to have as a bit of a spare and put it in a wacky tuning, which I've done to this over the years. I've had it set off a slide, I've had it in mad tuning, and I was looking around for a guitar to make a video of today out of my collection, and I thought, you know what, I'll give the Dano some loving. One thing I would say about this guitar is people seem to absolutely love it if you take it out and about, probably more so than any of my Fenders or PRS or anything like that. If this is at a gig, more times than anything else I've had someone say, oh, what's that guitar? That's a bit interesting. That's a lovely blue. That'd be nice to hang on my wall. And it's just a cool thing. You don't see loads of them. My favourite sort of feature on this guitar, other than the way it looks and the wacky body and its slightly unique sound, which we're going to go through in a minute, is the pickup selector. This is, again, going back to the AK-47 thing. This feels so locked and loaded. It's like an absolutely wicked switch. I have no idea who it was who makes this switch, but it's stock with the guitar, and it just feels so substantial. Much more so than like my PRS American Silver Sky, to be honest with you. So I wish all switches were a bit more like that. But what it does do, we have obviously our bridge pickup and our neck pickup. You put it in the middle, these then become in parallel, and that's my favourite sound on this guitar. It's what you just heard in the intro, and we'll go through it a bit as we go. Playability wise, we haven't got very tall frets, but I'd say they're sort of medium jumbo. I don't know if I've mentioned it, but I'll mention it again. We've got a lovely slab of what I think's rosewood, but might be something else. We've got some cheap tuners, but they do the job. And we've got that Danelectro headstock, which again is it's just a pretty unique look, isn't it? The whole thing is a unique thing, and that's what I think's brilliant about them. So without further ado and any more waffling on about them, I am going to make some noises. Today we are going through my Marshall DSL 40 combo on half power because of the neighbours. I'm trying to be as quiet as I can. And on the floor we are using a Danelectro pedal, the Filthy Rich Tremolo, which we'll use at points. And we might slap on the Mythos High Road Fuzz Joey Landreth edition. So we are going to start off as clean as a whistle and get the boring bit out of the way. So we're going to start on the neck pickup. We're going to play some chords up and down, and then we'll go from there. Middle position. And bridge position. So I normally try and do a bit of a volume tone control thing on some of these demos, but they're not a point because it's sort of on or off, and the tone is on or off. So they're your choices. You've got on or off. Now we're going to do something a bit more vibey. So we're going to just drop the bottom string to drop D and have a bit of a noodle about with some tremolo on. As you can hopefully hear, some pretty cool sounds there, I think. One thing we haven't done is put a bit more drive on it. We are going through a Marshall, it's a little bit crunchy, but it's pretty clean. So we'll show you what a Danelectro is like when you get stanky with it. I'm not going to mess around loads to do with pickups. We're going to go to my favourite setting and we're going to slap the high road fuzz on. So there is my very quick overview on the Danelectro Pro 56. I thought some of them sounds at the end were really inspiring for me to play, and there's something going on with one of these that is a little bit different to anything else you'll play. So get one, you might hate it, you might decide to sell it. I've tried to sell this a few times and no one's ever wanted it, and I think, to be honest, I'm just up for it for life. Is there anything else I want to tell you about it? It has a little sticker on the back, which a Latvian girl once gave me in a hostel for a pub she worked at, called the Monk's Bunk. It was blue, it was nice, it fitted on. It's on there. So thank you very much for tuning in for this quick overview of Danelectro guitars and my Danelectro Pro 56. Plenty more videos I've got coming up, so please give it a like, give it a subscribe. It's really cool to see some of the videos are getting a couple more views on them now, which is brilliant. I'm loving making them, and I hope a few of you out there are enjoying them. So I'm going to play a little bit of an outro now. I don't even think I'm going to mess around and change some settings because I was a fan. So I'm going to play it again, and I will see you for the next one. Take care, guys.